Have some recent changes and cutbacks just gone too far? It seems like when you change some of the popular food options on cruises, yes. Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewellcruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. Well, I think that we'd all agree that when it comes to cruise vacations, cruise food, well, that is an important part of cruising. Well, there's been a bit of a recent kerfuffle, and cruise passengers seem to be saying enough is enough. Now, I'm going to tell you all about it in this video coming up. But before I do, I did want to mention that if you like this video, if you find it helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, then please do give this video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the story, but I also want to talk about the reaction from so many people, because I think it is in that reaction that maybe there's a bigger point here, at least from the cruise passenger point of view. Now, some of you may have seen this post on Carnival Ambassador John Heald's Facebook page. Basically, the idea of it was that in his Facebook page, he was reiterating the fact that on Carnival, in their main dining rooms, they do not want people bringing back their main dining room food, whether it is dessert or any other type of food, back to their cruise cabin. And he did point out the reasons for this. A big part of it is that when you bring back your plates to your cabin, well, the main dining room does need those plates, does need that silverware, and it really does make extra work for the cruise. So I completely understand that. And my first reaction was, this is kind of a little bit silly. Now, being honest, I didn't even realize that this was such a big thing to take plates back from the main dining room to your cabin. Now, it seemed like in particular, people really appreciated bringing back desserts, which I can kind of understand. And the other one was cheese plates, which I have to say, I never thought about bringing cheese plates back to my cabin from the main dining room, but a lot of people in the comments seem to say this is something that they did to have with a glass of wine. I have to say, that does really sound appealing to me. Please let me know down in the comments below if you've ever done that or if you would consider it. Now, I do want to keep this factual, so I do want to mention something that John Heald did say as well, is that there will always be exceptions. So for instance, for when people have an anniversary or a special occasion, or when somebody is ill. So I think that those circumstances where somebody just isn't well enough to go to the main dining room or to stay in the main dining room, they will still allow you to bring that back to your cabin. However, what they are saying is, as an overall rule, they don't want people to do this. It really is too difficult. Now, there was a pretty strong reaction to this, but I don't think it was for the reasons maybe that we would think. I don't really think it's about the cheese plate or about the dessert, because as I read through the comments, a lot of people, well, they had this to say. Now, something that came up a lot were the recent changes and the cutbacks to the food options on the cruise ship. And this is in particular to Carnival, but I do think that this could be happening on other cruise ships as well sometimes. And I think that cruisers might have a similar reaction. So what some people said was the fact that Carnival is now charging for room service, and the fact that Carnival has cut the food options in the evening time. Well, basically, this only leaves a couple of options. One of them is to get pizza, and a lot of people say that the line is just very, very long. And the other option is, well, to pay for room service. But at the same time, people say that that too takes a very long time to even receive the room service. And this is one of the reasons that people are saying that they are bringing back food from the dining room. And something else that cruise passengers are saying is that they would like to have more accessible, convenient food options that are not necessarily like just fast food, especially late at night. So rather than having just pizza, they would like to have options to be able to have like a fruit plate or that cheese platter that seems to be very popular. I have to say, I would love to see cruise lines in general having more fruit available in accessible containers. We did actually have that on a Royal Caribbean cruise recently, and I loved being able to pick up a little fruit to go cup. Anyway, that's a bit of an aside. Let me know, please, if you agree that there should be some healthier food options that are accessible for cruisers down in the comments below. Now, since I always like to talk about solutions, there were actually some solutions that were presented in the comments from cruise passengers as well. And that included bringing plastic baggies, Tupperware containers, and some people saying to help Carnival to solve the problem with the silverware, that they will bring plastic cutlery. So I think all of these things, that does take away a little bit from the experience of cruising. I don't think there's anything wrong with bringing a plastic baggie and taking something from the buffet back to your cabin for the kids or anything like that. But regularly, I don't know that I want to go to the main dining room with a Tupperware container. Now, I have one more point, and then I have a question for you. Now, something that came up, and it seemed to be nuanced in the comments, was that by making these changes, and they really have been changes that have been coming in over the last few months since the restart, that they are affecting in some ways the experience that cruise passengers expect from a cruise, and it does take away from it in some way. Okay, so now I want to hear from you. You know how when there's an issue like this, and by the way, this video is not a slight to Carnival because I know they do a lot of things well and they are an absolutely phenomenal cruise line that provides a lot of value. However, there are always going to be some people that are going to say, if there's this issue, whether it's this cruise line or another cruise line, well, I'm never going to cruise with that cruise line again. So I would like to know from you, is this enough for you not to cruise with your favorite cruise line? Or what could a cruise line do that would make you actually say goodbye forever to that cruise line? Please let me know down in the comments below. Now, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Bye for now and happy cruising.